Hi, everybody. My name is Xavier Mlinek. I'm with Incloud Business Solution. I'm marketing director for Incloud Business Solutions. We are Salesforce Gold Partner, and we are also a Salesforce Pardot integrator. And last week, we had a great event with our friends for Salesforce Pardot in Canada. And we had this amazing marketing automation workshop. We had a pretty good turnout. That was extremely interesting. We had a very interesting demo. And compared to the other event that we had a couple of months back, which were like very strategic, like this one was really hands-on. And we had lots of good comments, a lot of good questions also during the webinar. But I also know that some people couldn't make it to this event. Sorry, it wasn't a webinar. Actually, it was just a workshop. But that was extremely interesting, and I know that some people were really disappointed because they couldn't make it. So what I'm doing today, I'm just re-recording the demo, and I will share it with the attendees, of course, but also all the people that couldn't make it to the event. So this is what we are going to see today, and this was actually the agenda for last week, last week's workshop. So we're going to start with the demo with something like very important. How do you acquire leads with marketing automation? And this starts with landing pages. Then, when you're going to make the acquisition of all those leads, you want to manage them. You want to see if there is an interest on their hand, if they are interested in your content, and you also want to see if this prospect represents a good potential in terms of business for you. So this is what you're going to do with the grading right here. Also, you want to nurture them. In general, 70% of leads don't make it to the opportunity stage. So it's really important to spend time understanding your prospect and send them relevant content. So this is what we're going to do with an event. So this is like a bottom of the funnel type of event, and we're going to show you how to reach out to your audience, to invite them to this event, and also we're going to show you how you're going to be able to automate all the follow-ups and all the lead assignments after the event. So right now I'm gonna jump into the demo, and I'm gonna show you how to create landing pages with Pardot. So this is actually a Pardot instance. First of all, you go to, so we're going to start acquiring leads with landing pages. So here, this is where you have all the landing pages. We're going to go to the one that I've prepared for you today, which is marketing automation right here. And I'm going to edit it to show you all the different steps that you have to follow when you're doing this. Okay, so here, of course, you have like some basic information like the names. You can also have like within your marketing automation, you have the information based on like where this landing page is saved on. Now you have like a little bit of personalization available here, and it's really important to think in terms of consistency. Let's say like you sending this landing page via email. It's really important that what you're gonna have, whether in your email or let's say on your AdWords ad, that everything that you have that you're promoting there have to be consistent with what you're putting in the landing page. And the first things that you have to do is personalize, customize the title tag. So basically what you're going to see here in this tab, and also in the meta description of the page. This is like really important in terms of consistency. Then you have to select the form. We will come back on the form a little bit later on. You can create the form from here, or you can, like, if it's the form already exists, you have to select it right here. So I'm going to take this one, and I'm gonna continue. Then you have to select. You have to select the content layout. So basically, this will help you with your landing page, so it will look good. Like that will be basically the layout template of your page. So I'm going to select this one, confirm, and I'm going to continue to the editing sections. So this is where we are now. This is like the most important part of this landing page, because this is where you're going to be able to edit all the different sections that has been determined in your layout template. So, for example, I go here, I can add something like this, I can change it. I can change the color, for example. I can do a lot of things. So basically here, the beauty of the systems is everything that you have like within those rectangles can be edited. You can add pictures, you can change text. So everything here can be done like without coding. Here you have the form. This is something that we're gonna come back on a little bit later, because there is another module where you're gonna be able to edit the form. So basically, so here it's really neat, because like you know, when you want to create a landing page, sometimes you don't want to go to your IT department to help you, or to your web department to help you. You want to come up with this, and to be up and running like within like probably 30 minutes or maximum an hour. And this is something that you can do very easily with this systems. It takes like even less than 30 minutes, but really like if you really want to think about your content and really like make sure that there is no typos, things like this. I mean, 30 minutes, it's something like pretty fair to create a landing page. So this is it. You did it. You created your landing page, but then we're gonna see the result, how it looks. Confirm and save, and then we're gonna click on this and see how it looks. Everything looks good. So that's okay. So you see, you can really like create a personalized landing page really rapidly. So then I'm gonna come back to, I'm gonna go to the forms right here. Okay, there you go. And I'm gonna edit the form. So this is the name of the form, why it's saved, which campaign is it part on. This is pretty important for your reporting down the road. And this is like really like the most important part of this. One of the most important part of this form module is that those are the fields that you will see in the in the form itself and in the landing page. So everything here can be customized. You can add as many fields as you want, but there is always something that you to keep in mind when you're designing a landing page. There is an inverse relationship between the number of fields that you have on the landing page and the number of leads that you want to get from this landing page. So this means that if you have a lot of fields, if you're asking for a lot of questions, people will be sometimes pretty reluctant to go through a pretty lengthy forms, and you will at the end get less leads. So this is why it's really important to minimize the number of fields that you will have on this landing page, and I'm going to show you how. But the things that you always want to do, you always want to at least have full information that you want to ask, like at least the first name, last name, and company page, and also a super important, the email, of course. So this little star here means that this is a required field. And here, I'm going to select this just to let the system know that I always want this field on my landing pages. That even if someone has already submitted this information, if the prospect comes down to this landing page a second time, it will always be asked to filter, to populate its first, to give its first name and its last name. So now I'm going to go to another field, pretty important right here, is the job title. And here I want to do something different. So here, if this field has already been populated, I want to ask it again. And this one is not required, okay? So this is a different configuration. And this one is even like it's another configuration. This one is a pretty interesting. And this is really where marketing automation with Pardot is very powerful. This is what it's called a progressive profiling. This field will be shown only if the field job title has been previously populated. This means if someone has already given his job title, it won't be asked again. This prospect will be asked to fill out what is it here? Yes, the state, its location, basically the state and province. And here it's a little bit also different because this is not a text field. This is a drop down. And basically what you can do, you can pre-populate your drop down with some information that you have in your marketing automation and also in your Salesforce. And this is how you do this. You click here, and then you go to values, and everything is actually the same thing that you're going to find in your CRM. So for example, I remember like in the past in my previous company, we had text field here, but some people will say Ontario is ON, or sometimes people were literally writing Ontario. So, this is a little bit misleading sometimes. This is how you make sure that your information is always nice and clean. And always like using drop down, especially for, I didn't show it for the job title, but especially for job title. This is like, if you really want to identify who your target audience is, like use it drop down. Usually it's a very good practice to make sure that you have like a consistent naming conventions across the board. Okay, like this is how also you can customize the look and feel of your page. Here is something like extremely important. Download your ebook here. This is what you're going to see in your click to action in the submit button. And we know that this is something like extremely important. So you really want to put something that is like really compelling. And one of the way to do it, like there is tons of literature to help you with this, but apparently using words like your ebook, your seat, it's something a little bit more compelling. Also here, you don't see it because it was blank on my page, but on the landing page, you have the blue background. You can have it. You can personalize what you're going to see right on top of the form. So here, sign up sign up and get your white paper. So here, this is the completion action module. So this is what you want to personalize what's going to happen after the submission of the form. So in this case, I won't display a thank you message, because what I want to do, I want to redirect people to another landing page. Why it's a good practice? Because by doing so, you can also entice people to go to other relating content. So let's say you have a page like this one where people will go to. They will have the possibility to download what they requested, your ebook, but also at the bottom of the page, you can also offer them other type of content. And remember, with marketing automation, you have the ability to use the progressive profiling. So the more information they consume on your website, the more information they will also leave behind with the form. So nothing is free on the internet, really. So yes, you want to give some of your content for free, but in exchange for some information. And with the progressive profiling, the more downloads they do on your website, the more information they will give you. So this is really a good practice. So you could do this with two ways. First of all, is by redirecting them to another landing page. And also, secondly, you can also send them, autoresponder email, so an automated email that will be sent right after the form submission. And this email can also kind of, have like certain link to some other resources. And here is something like very interesting. So I told you about like how do you evaluate the interest of your prospect towards your content and toward your organization, by attributing a score, by adjusting the score each time they go to a specific resources. But like this can be like very specific. Here it can be like £50 for a white paper, but if they go to your pricing page that is locked behind a form, it can be 100 points, and that can very well qualify them automatically to a market qualified leads, and that will afterward be transferred to sales. And all this process is totally automated. So this is very very neat and very handy, and you can manage all of this from the landing page. But then we're going to see something else. You want to also to evaluate if this prospect is interesting for you guys. So here we're going to go to segmentation and profile. And we're gonna see how the profile has been set up for all those fields. So for example, I'm gonna take the example of the job title. By default, it will always be always be D. This is the grade that you're going to give to all your prospects by default. But if the job title meet a certain criteria, you're going to reevaluate the grade by two-thirds of a letter. And I'm going to show you how to do this. You do this automatically with an automation rules. So basically, here you are. If the prospect meets the prospect job title meets those criteria, then you're gonna actually change the profile and reevaluate the grade of your prospect by two-thirds of a letter. And everything here, it's totally automated. And so now I'm going to show you how it's done. So this is it. This is what you see So now you've collected leads, you have insights with the scoring and grading about your prospect. Here you have the scores, here you have the grade, and you have also insight on what activities this prospect has done on your website, and how he interacted with your content by downloading forms, opening emails, and that you can filter right here actually. So like this one, like he opened, for example, a landing page, an email. He viewed like this landing pages. So basically, and this information here can also be synced with your CRM. So basically, when you are transferring these leads to sales, because it has become a marketing qualified leads, those information will also be available here into your and into your CRM. All right. So I think right now you have a pretty good understanding on how to acquire leads, how to manage them with the scoring and the grading. But like I said at the beginning of the session, nurturing is something like super important, because I think like a lot of companies are spending a lot of time and energy acquiring their leads, but there is really a tons of things that you can do to repurpose your content, to reach out to existing audience, to really like entice them to have like a more powerful and more close relationship with you guys. So this is so what we are going to do. We are going to organize and promote an event, pretty much like the event that we did last week, and we're gonna show you how to do this. So when you're doing events, what I've seen in the past is that when we have organized events, I've always seen that the first email that I sent, as in general, was somewhat this is what's going to get us probably 1/3 of the attendance at the day of the events. Why? I think it's you can use like different kind of tactics to drive people to events, like AdWords. For example, for this event, it worked pretty well. LinkedIn, it worked pretty well as well. But I really think that email is still something that will really help you to drive people to these events, and that's also true for webinar. So I'm gonna really show you how to create a very compelling compelling email, sorry, so you really maximize your attendance the day of the event. So let's see how you can do this. But first of all, what you have to do is you have to create a list. So basically, let's say it's you're selling a software that can be used by different departments, and here this event can be it's something that you want to organize for marketing people. So what you want to do, you want to create a list of all the people that you have in marketing, of all the people that downloaded something that is related to marketing in your database. First of all, you want to create create the list. You do it like this, but really like you want to have a snapshot of your existing prospect. You want to see up until today who's really interesting in marketing in my database. Not in the future, but just up until today. So in this case, you're going to go to roles, and you're going to create a segmentation roles. So basically, you're gonna ask the systems, any prospect who has successfully completed those landing pages, they have to be to be sent to the list that we've just created previously. And here you can add as many landing page that you want, and you can also add like certain other rules. But let's keep it simple for example. So everybody who has successfully submitted this landing pages, they will be part of our list. So we're gonna go see who is in our list. So we had 446 people. One of them apparently is not mailable. The email is not good, or probably this person opted out. But you can see it right here. I can show you the mailable prospect. That would be 445, and unmailable prospect here. Oh, this prospect unfortunately opted out. But this is how you can view. You can have a big like a nice grasp of who is in your list. So now we made the list. So now it's time to create the actual email. But it was important to create the list first, because at the end that will be used to send the email. So we go to email, we go to draft, and I'm going to show you an email that I did right here that I prepared for you for this example. So this will be the email that I will be using to download, to invite people to our event. And basically, like this is exactly the same template that we used to invite people for our last week workshop. So here it's pretty much like for the landing page, everything can be edited and very easily. You can add image like here. You can add text without any coding. By using the templates that are available for you within Pardot, you can also have like this template right here that is responsive. So in other words, that will be optimized for all the viewers, all of your prospects that will open this email with a mobile. And right now, like it's really important because like I think it's 48% of emails that are open with mobile. So it's really important to have it like responsive design. So there are different things that you really have to, in terms of good practices when you do emails. This section is pretty important because this is what you're gonna have. Sometimes you have just a snapshot of the first paragraph of your email content right after the subject, right before you actually open it. And this is like also something that you have to optimize. So you really want to stuff this with good keywords. It has to be like pretty compelling. Then of course, using image is something good. Image, I come back to consistency. If you have it has to be consistent also with the image that you will see in your landing page. You have to have a very clear click to actions, and usually when you do try to for example for our customers, we really design them in HTML. And that's really something important, because like if you're using it for click to action with an image, sometimes it won't be displayed, but by a certain email service provider like Outlook, and then you're gonna miss the point, and the click-through rate of your email will be not very efficient. And that won't be like very very good for the performance of your email. But basically, this is how you do things, and it's really a very good practice to do some A/B testing to see what's working and what's not working, and on some like very tiny details sometimes. So you can do it for example, something very important is this, the click to action. And you can have, so basically you can send two versions of your email. For example, one with the CTA in orange and then the other one in green. And at the end, when you're sending everything away, you can test which one works. So basically, I'm just going to come back on the rest a little bit later, but just to finish with the A/B testing. So you're gonna say, okay, I want to this test to run for 2 days, and after these 2 days, so I want to send to send this test to 20% of my database, and 44 people will get one version, and 44 people will get the other version. And after these 2 days, the winning version will be sent to the rest, to everybody else. And also, you want to specify what is the criteria that you want to determine the winner on. And in this case, since it is something that I did, the variables, it's based on the CTA, so it's within the email. So it's not going to be open, it's going to be closed. So this is it. Just like this was everything about the A/B testing. Now, concerning how you're going to send this out. Of course, here it's where you're going to attach the list that we just created previously. If you want to make sure that this list doesn't contain any competitors, and if you have a good list of competitors within your competitors emails within your database, you want to add it as suppression list just to make sure that no competitor gets it. And also another good practice when you're sending email is to personalize the sender name. Usually, it is a good practice to use real people's name rather than Incloud Business Solution or the name of your company. And this is how you can actually do it. And of course, this is A/B testing. So this you can also like test it if you want to see it. Yeah, if you want to test it, for example, if you want to test the open rates, you could do one here with general users. So you have one version, everybody gets the same. Include business solutions, an email address, there you go. There you go, and you can test like which one will have like the best open rates. Now, concerning this one, so you can actually use your name. I could put my name for example. For example, here, for all the people or the prospect that you have in your database that haven't been assigned to any sales rep, for example, but when they are assigned, honestly, it's much more performant in terms of open rates to use the name of your sales rep, because they already have an existing relationships with this prospect. So it's really good practice to use this. But now I'm going to just come back to the email, because there is something that I haven't showed you. that I haven't talked about. And this is something like pretty neat actually. Here, you notice here you have like the weird coding here. You don't know what's you know, like why is it here? This is actually a dynamic content. And I'm gonna go to another section of the of Pardot to show you this. But basically, you use this little button here to choose the dynamic content that you want to add into this email. Dynamic content allows you actually to personalize the content of your email, yes, based on the information that you have about your prospect. So here I go to content right here, dynamic content. So I leave email, that's okay, that was just an example. Email invite. So I told you a little bit earlier, we had another event in June. So when I sent the email to invite all the people to go to the event that we had in December, I personalized the first paragraph of the email. So for everybody who attended our event in June, I say like, we were extremely happy to see you in June. You liked our event, that was pretty strategic, but now we're going to show you something very hands-on. And if the prospect in my database were not at the event, they had like another default content that was meant for anybody else. And this is like something that you can do with the text, but you can also use it with images. And you know, it's pretty different than a variable tags. Something like here when you want to personalize the name of your company, because this is not only one word that you're changing, like dear Xavier, for example, or one field that you're changing within the content of your email. This is an entire paragraph, and you can even change the picture, for example. So you know, like this, you get tons of use cases with this tool, and it's really neat because there is still a huge demand for personalization in terms of coming from people, coming from the audience, from prospects, because 80% of people are still thinking that, you know, companies are not doing enough in terms of personalization, and they would interact more with the content if it was personalized, and still only 15% of companies are using personalization techniques to reach out to the audience. So this is really a nice feature to bridge this gap. All right. So I think right now we're done with the email content. We're going to come back to no, so we did email. So what do we have on the agenda today? So yeah, so right now we just sent this this email, and we're going to send all the traffic to a landing page, and now we're going to see how people interact with the landing page, and we're going to try to create a dynamic list with all the people that submitted a form on this landing page. Excellent. So now we're going to continue with statistics. A dynamic list. Why creating a dynamic list when you're organizing an event? Usually that happens each time I organize an event for my company. Yeah, you will be asked by your sales teams, by your boss. They will ask you some question about like, what is the number of registrants that you have, and among those registrants, how many are they? How many of those are real lead, new prospects? So this is why, like, you want to have like each time you will be asked this question, you want to have an answer for them. So this is why we're gonna start try to create a dynamic list that will contain all the registrants to the event, and among those registrants, we will filter all the people that are from your company or that also may be competitors. So this is what we are going to see now. So you go to segmentation, you go to list. But right now, this is pretty different from what we did earlier. Earlier, we wanted to have a status list. We wanted to have a print screen, a snapshot of what happened at a certain time. Right now, it's different. It's something that will be automatically, dynamically updated with the time. So this is so you create a list and you choose dynamic. And when you do create a dynamic list, oh, this is not the right list, like, by the way. I'll have to come back to the list. No, this is not the right. There you go, the registrant. Like you see here, this is a dynamic list. When you do create the list for the first time, you will have the choice to select dynamic or not. If it's not dynamic, it's going to be like the previous one we did together. So when you go to the dynamic list, here are the different match types that you can have. So basically, when I'm asking here, I'm asking the system to gather all the leads that have successfully submitted this landing page, that have successfully completed this landing page, and then I don't want to have anybody who's in this list, and I don't want to have anybody with, for example, in our case, we are partnering with Salesforce. I don't want to count any Salesforce people, any partner as an official registrant for the event. So then I'm going to hit run, and then I'm going to have my list of prospects. So far I've got 6. So now what I want to do is, like, based on this, I don't want to automate a lot of things. And even if, let's say, my event is in 1 month, I can already automate a lot of things in advance. So I will probably focus my time on creating the content, try to prepare some things to really welcome all those attendees, rather than creating emails and reminders. So you can actually prepare all your templates, the reminders, the follow-up emails in advance, and you can put everything together in an engagement studio, and this is what we are going to see now. So this is an engagement studio. This is a pretty new features with Pardot. It just actually has been launched officially in June, and right now I'm using it all the time. It's very, very neat features. So I'm just gonna delete this one for the moment. I'm going to come back on this a little bit later. But basically, so what you want to do here first, you want to select the list that you are going to build this engagement studio on. So here I'm going to select the Pardot event registrant list. This is the one that this is the dynamic list that we have just created. I'm going to use also a suppression list, all the competitors, just to make sure. Here I'm going to say I want to send emails only within the business hours. And I'm going to hit save. So then I'm going to continue. The first things that I want to do automatically will be to send an email. A reminder. This is actually a reminder email. So let's say I'm going to start this engagement studio 2 days prior to the event. Everybody is going to receive this. Then I'm going to have a condition. I want to know if the day of the event, did all those registrants participate? Did they attend the event or not? And I'm going to wait 4 days to have the time. So here we are like 2 days prior to the event, and we are going to have like 2 days to create the list, to gather all the prospect that did actually attend, to update the systems. And what we are going to do, we are going to create a list, and we are going to manually update this list with all the attendants. And if they did attend, they're going to receive a thank you email. If they did not receive, they are going to receive a sorry we missed you email. And that's going to be like immediately after we updated the list, because here, remember, we have a wait time of 4 days. So this is it. So they do receive the sorry email follow-up, and then we're gonna add them up automatically to a nurturing campaign by adding them to a list. Then if they receive the thank you email, this is necessarily people that I want to talk to. So I'm gonna assign tasks, and I'm gonna first create a Salesforce campaign within Salesforce. I'm going to assign them via our Salesforce active assignment rules. And I'm going to create a task directly from Pardot, directly from the engagement studio, and I'm going to assign them to my sales team. And this is it. So now when you are ready, you just have to hit start, and all these emails will be sent, and then you also so everything that you're going to have here will be automated. This is really neat, and this is really a functionality that will help you save a lot of time. So I think that concludes our workshop for today. If you have any question, do not hesitate to reach out to us, or to go to our website in-cloud.ca. So we were really happy to have you all at the W Hotel for this Pardot workshop on December 1st. And for those who couldn't make it, but did actually watch this video, thank you for watching us, and do not hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions regarding Pardot or regarding this demo. Thank you all. Thank you.